Hey Meissner makers, I'm Jennifer Jiggis here with Meissner Sewing and Vacuum Centers, and it is week 2 of Reindeer Days. And this week we had an opportunity to talk with Dancer. Now Dancer, some of you may be aware of, is quite the crafter, and he really enjoys decorating for all of the holidays. His motto is, if it's not moving, we should embellish it. So in honor of Dancer today, we're going to talk about a few machines that allow you to do just that. Embroidery, add some detailed lettering to things, add some foiling, add some rhinestones. Maybe we want to create our own holiday cards, whether that's for the Christmas holiday, for Thanksgiving, for birthdays, etc. So those are the things that I want to share with you today. Along with that, I do want to let you know about a handful of specials that are taking place in our stores this weekend only. So our dance flash sale, if you will. Bonus points if you show up and flash dance through the store. So this weekend only in all 5 of our store locations, that's Sacramento, Roseville, Folsom, Santa Rosa, and San Jose. We are offering 35% off full 1-yard cuts of fabric of your choice, 45-inch wide cottons. We have 30% off notions and accessories. So if you have a sewing machine at home that you love and you've been thinking about some new presser feet and accessories, this is the perfect time. And then also our scan and cut accessories are 20% off this weekend. So some great reasons to come in and to visit with us. And as I mentioned, that is in all 5 store locations. Now, you'll want to stay tuned throughout the entirety of this video because at the end we will be drawing for the winner of last week's video giveaway. And as you're watching this video, if you like, comment, or share, that will enter you into the drawing that we'll be announcing during next week's video. So as I was chatting with Dancer, the couple of machines that he wanted to share with me, or wanted me to share with you, these are machines that we find are fantastic as companions maybe to a machine that you already have in your sewing space, or if you are adding or introducing someone to the joy of embroidery, of sewing, of crafting, these are going to be some excellent choices for you. And these are available in our store locations, they are in stock, and they are also available through our website. So if you're more comfortable ordering online, or if you would prefer to have curbside service, we can take care of that for you. So the first machine that I want to talk about is the Baby Lock Flourish. This machine is embroidery only. So again, if you have a sewing machine that you love, or maybe you're just not interested in sewing at the moment, but you love the idea of being able to personalize things for the holidays. You want to do tea towels with personalized messages to go down into a nice basket of baked goods that you want to bring somebody as a holiday treat. Or you want to monogram baby onesies. Or you want to add sassy sayings on t-shirts or tote bags or jean jackets. This is going to be the perfect machine for you. It's simple enough for the beginner. It's robust enough for that intermediate embroiderer. It's great to have it stitching while you're sewing, if you are a sewer, on the machine that you love. And it has a nice large hoop. So for those of you that have a high-end machine that you really enjoy, but you're looking for something a little more portable to take with you to an embroidery class, this is going to be a great option for you because most classes, this 7 by 12 inch hoop is going to be sufficient for that class. So that's the Baby Lock Flourish, embroidery only. There is a substantial $2,000 savings on this machine right now, so you want to run or dance your way in and claim one for your very own. You can also call us to reserve one at 916-920-2121, or you can email me at info@meissnersewing.com. And the Baby Lock Flourish is also coming with a trial Love of Knowledge subscription, which is like having an instructor to guide you through and answer questions for you 24/7. What could be better than that? It's like a direct line to the North Pole of sewing. Now the other machine that Dancer wanted to be sure that I mentioned is the Burnett 79. Now it is a combination machine, meaning it is sewing and embroidery. And I can honestly say, I don't think there is another machine in this price range that is as feature rich as the B79. On the sewing side, it does have integrated dual feed, which is nice, like a little built-in mini walking foot. The presser foot raises and lowers for you automatically. It does have a needle stop up or down, which is a phenomenal feature to have. It does have a bobbin indicator. It has over 300 stitches available for you, and it does have a programmable memory. So very, very feature rich on the sewing side. And it's the drop-in bobbin system that a lot of sewers and a lot of newer sewers really prefer. On the embroidery side, you do have an 8x10 embroidery field. You can combine designs. It opens most major formats. It's very simple to use, and there's a nice clamping system on the hoops so that everything stays nice and tight and you don't have to worry about wiggly wobbly fabric. And not only that, it does come with an extension table for sewing, so you have some great support for some of your larger projects. Now, this weekend only, and when I say weekend, I'm going to extend that to mean through the end of the day on Monday, because I think Mondays deserve a little something special instead of being a dreaded Monday. So in addition to a substantial savings on that machine that, as I mentioned, is in stock, you will also receive a limited edition embroidery scissor kit, a design collection with 25 collections, so about 620 designs in here, and an accessory bag. So you have a place to put your tools, whether it's to keep your sewing and crafting space organized, or whether it's to go to class or go for a sewing crafting day with friends. So now that we've taken a quick look at some of Dancer's favorite embroidery machines / sewing machines, I want to share with you also some tips that he shared with me with regards to working with my scan and cut. So we're going to come over here to the scan and cut, and I have a whole handful of things that I want to share with you. First and foremost, there was a change to the scan and cut packaging in the last couple of months. So what we're going to be looking at is the basically last year's model scan and cut, because it's going to come with some very significant bonuses for you if you take advantage of Dasher's flash sale this weekend. So with the scan and cut, first of all, if you're not familiar with a scan and cut, what does this do? It is a digital die cutter. So there's a little blade, primarily it's a digital die cutter. There's a nice sharp blade in here that's used to cut through things like adhesive vinyl, fabrics, papers, so that you can create all kinds of crafts. So here's just one example of something that I've cut, and this is out of a permanent adhesive vinyl. So I'm going to attach it to a crockery piece, so I have something pretty for the holidays, and I'll include some lovely little gift items, and that'll be for someone on my gift giving list. You can also pre-cut your applique shapes if you are an embroiderer. So I have a quick example back here of an applique quilt where scan and cut was used to cut the applique shapes in the background. Now, if you are more of a crafter and less of a sewer or a quilter, you can also use it for paper crafting. If you are a scrapbook artist, this is a great way to pre-cut or to cut a lot of those very intricate and detailed shapes. You can also cut around a photo with a shape. So if you if you have a great photo of a grandchild and you want to cut it with a heart, you can fussy cut right around that photo that you can then use on your scrapbook page. Now, something that a friend introduced me to, and this was a lot of fun, and again, another quick something that I could be playing with on my scan and cut while my embroidery machine was running, is to create a little piece of wall art. So these are pre-purchased artist canvas. You're going to paint all over the canvas itself, and you do not have to be an artist to do this. You can give it to a 4-year-old, give them 3 colors of paint, and say cover the canvas. So you cover the entirety of the canvas. Then I used my scan and cut to cut a stencil for the subway tile lettering, adhere it over the painted background, and then paint one solid color over the top. So it was really kind of a fun way to create something that had a lot of texture and a lot of dimension. They don't take a tremendous amount of time. The drying time takes longer really than anything else. So they'd be a great gift idea for any time of year, or something that you could use to commemorate a wedding, the birth of a baby, any milestone event. Super, super quick and easy. Now, I do want to show you, Dasher asked me specifically if I would show you how to create a little transfer piece that you could use to go on a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, a backpack, really any kind of a textile item, so that you too can become Santa's favorite. And for those of you that already have a scan and cut, there's a couple of tips that I'm going to show you when we cut and we weed this to make your life just a little bit easier. Cameraman Joel, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's become Santa's favorite. So to create the Santa's favorite iron-on, I wanted something that had a lot of shine and a lot of sassiness to it, to be perfectly honest. So we're using the Embellish line heat transfer foil. Now, one of the things that I really like about this particular foil is, with some foiling techniques, there are multiple steps. There's a gluing step, an adhesive step, then adding the foil, then doing the cutting. With this particular product, everything is all in one. So we have the transfer tape, we have the foil, and we have the adhesive already in place. So we're going to start by feeding our mat in here. Now, another thing that I like about the scan and cut is not only is it going to cut for me, and all digital die cutters will do that, but if I had just a little bit of foil left, like I do on this Santa's favorite. Now, this isn't big enough to cut another one of these iron-ons, but it is plenty big enough to cut some smaller things. If I wanted to cut this section of the foil, I would adhere this to my mat. When I scan it, I would be able to see on the screen exactly where the portion of the foil that's still available to me is, so that I don't waste a single bit of any of my foils or vinyls or fabrics. Okay, so our mat has been fed into the machine, and we're going to retrieve the data, and I've stored my SVG file on a USB stick. And here it is, Santa's favorite. Now, the adhesive is facing up. So one of the things you need to remember is, number one, the easiest way to do it is to follow the instructions with your heat set product. We are going to need to mirror image this so that when we remove it from the machine and we flip it over to iron it onto our garment, we want to make sure that our text is the right way, is justified correctly. So we're going to say, okay, this is the design we want. Edit, object edit, and we're going to mirror image the design. Now, I have cut this first one, and it's a little bit larger than what I'd like for the next t-shirt that I'm going to create. The next t-shirt's a little smaller size. So we're going to come up here to choose this icon, and we are going to reduce the size of the design. Okay, that's better. Now, if we wanted to reduce just height or just width, we would activate this icon, and then we could adjust the height independently of the width. But this looks pretty good to me, so I'm happy with that. Now, a trick. If we were to cut now, and we certainly could, when we get ready to remove the excess foil from around our design, we would be pulling all of the foil, and we would lose everything that's on our mat. We want to preserve and be frugal with our foil so that we have as much opportunity to cut shiny, pretty things as possible. So a trick when you are creating something, when you're cutting from a heat set foil or a vinyl, is to add a box around the outside of your design. That way, when we weed or remove the excess product, we're not losing everything. We're just losing the immediate area around our design. So we are going to add, we're going to add another item, object edit, and add So we're going to add a square or a rectangle from the built-in patterns. Go to the pattern folder. We're going to choose a rectangle because our design has a little bit more of a rectangular shape. And I know it's going to need to be larger, but I'd like to see everything on my mat. So here's the rectangle we just added. We're going to edit, object edit, go back to that enlarge icon, and we need to make it bigger. It needs to just fit around our text. It's close. Oh, actually that looks like it is just about perfect. Now again, I like to be careful about how I'm using my vinyls so that I don't waste any. So we're going to move the whole thing slightly to the right. I guess that would be the left. To the edge of the mat. Okay, we're going to say okay. Now I've already tested this on the same vinyl. In real life, I would recommend that once you get to this point, you say okay. We're going to select cut, and we're going to activate the half cut. We don't want the blade to cut through the carrier on the back. So we're going to scroll down one. We want half cut on. We're going to say okay. Now at home, it's a good idea to do a test. That way you know everything is set correctly and you have the right amount of pressure on your blade and you haven't forgotten to set that half cut. And then we're going to press start. And in 2 minutes, we are going to have an amazing heat transfer foil iron-on to go on our favorite sweatshirt or t-shirt. Dancer, thank you so much for sharing the whereabouts of this particular SVG file. I love it. Now I know from at home it's very difficult to see what's happening, but there are little cuts being made all through the back of this foil. Okay, so our design has finished cutting. We're going to say okay. Press the mat load button to unload it. And now I know that it does not look very dramatic from where you stand. So cameraman Joel, we're going to go around to the other side so that I can show our viewers at home one of my favorite tips for weeding without stress. So those of you that have some type of a digital cutter at home or a scan and cut at home, you know that it can be a little bit difficult to see where it is that you're supposed to begin the weeding process. So I like to use a daylight wafer light. And this is great not only as a tool for weeding your heat set vinyls, but it's also a wonderful tool for any kind of tracing or traditional light box work that you might be doing. So we're going to turn the light on the light box and see how much easier it is now to see where those cuts are. Now here's that box that we put around our design so that we don't lose all of this vinyl when we start weeding. I like to start at an outer point and work in, especially if I'm weeding something that's very complex or has a lot of teeny areas. Right, so we're going to work from the outside in, and we're just going to gently pull that vinyl away from that carrier sheet. And I do prefer to move in one direction at a time so as not to accidentally remove an area that's part of the design. And you can just use your weeding tool to slide in areas where there's just a little bit of vinyl in there. And this is something you do want to take your time. You don't want to rush. because the worst thing would be for you to pull quickly and remove something that was part of the design. Look at how clean it cut those very fine lines. This design is one that Dasher's planning to put on his ugly Christmas sweater this year. So once we have the bulk of the outside, then we're going to go in here and pull out these little bits in the inside. And if there are any little bits that are difficult for you to grab, there is a set of tweezers in your toolkit that comes with your scan and cut. So the weeding tool that I'm using is included, and so are the little tweezers. These aren't too bad. I think we're done, but it's always good before you decide to go iron it on to double check yourself and make sure you haven't left any of those little bits on the inside. Looks good.
Jennifer?
So now for those Uber crafters out there, we're going to take a walk out or a dance out and see what Jennifer Campbell has in store for us today.
Hi, it's Jennifer here at Meissner's, and we are super excited about our Reindeer Days. And I've been getting all kinds of things ready for the holidays for my family this year. I'm using the new IQ Design app on my new Solaris 2. And what I've done with it so far is I've created this super cute snowman using the IQ Designer app, and I wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to do so. First, I opened up Google on my phone and I searched for snowmen. Then I just clicked on it, add it to my photos, and locate my Baby Lock IQ Designer app, the Intuition, touch it, and send to the machine. Now it's going to go right over to the IQ Designer. Once it's here, I just touch the app that I want to open and bring in my design from my Wi-Fi. It's always the one on top. Select it. I'm going to crop the image so I just get what I want. And set it. Now I'm going to fill it in. Real easy. Touch the color that I want to work with. Red's going to be perfect for his mittens. Touch the paint bucket that I want to fill in maybe make it a little bigger so I can see. And just touch the areas that I want to fill in. For the rest of the snowman, I would just continue to grab a different color, put it where I want to. When it's all ready to go, I just hit next. The machine will generate the stitches and I'll be ready to stitch it out. Another fun thing that we have this weekend for the special is Dancer has brought us wonderful gifts that are going to go with this machine. You're saving thousands. This box is just brought from the North Pole, and it's filled with thousands of dollars worth of excellent goodies. I haven't even looked in it yet. I've just been seeing the outside and I can't wait to dive in. Also included this weekend through Monday, Anita Good Design's Infinite Possibilities, 2 years Love of Knowledge, so you can learn all of these fun techniques right from Baby Lock's website, and 500 free designs. So you have free designs coming from loads of places. You'll be able to do your own holiday things and have everything ready for this season. So thank you. Come on in and give us a visit and we'll show you how to do this yourself. Have a great day.
Hey Jennifer, thank you. That was amazing. I love all of the different features and functions that are on that Baby Lock Solaris 2. I think one of those may need to find its way into my sewing studio as well. So before we wrap it up and draw for this week's prize winner, remember that commenting, or sharing on this video will enter you into next week's drawing. And Dancer also asked me to remind you that this weekend, including Monday, because we don't want Monday to feel badly, through the end of day on Monday, 30% off notions and accessories, 35% off 45-inch wide fabric schoolyard cuts, and 20% off scan and cut accessories. Now, the scan and cut, we didn't talk about the flash sale special on that for this weekend. Save $400 on the scan and cut SDX, and it does include the great notion or tool kit that I was using with the tweezers, the stylus, the weeding tool. It's also coming as a bonus this weekend with the roll feeder. Now with the roll feeder, you're able to cut product up to approximately 6 feet. So if you're looking to create something that could be like a table runner type decoration, or something to go on the walls, or something to go on your windows for the holidays, this is a great way to do that. Or like a quick and easy tree skirt, you can cut a nice long border piece and iron it onto a ready-made tree skirt. It's a great way to get something done quickly. It's also including the vinyl auto blade kit. And this is what I used to cut the tiny, tiny detailed transfer that we showed you at the very beginning. And it's coming with a new fabric mat. So it's even a little bit easier to cut those fabrics for your applique, your embroidered applique pieces. Now again, remember that we do have that great little Flourish is a perfect embroidery machine as a companion to your top line, your favorite sewing machine, or for that person on your list who's just getting started with embroidery, as well as the Bernat 79 combination piece with a lot of really high-end features at an under $2,000 price point, and it's coming this weekend with the scissors, the embroidery designs, and the accessory bag. How much better than that could it possibly be? So, Cameraman Joel, last thing before we wrap it up, are you ready? Today's lucky winner is going to receive this beautiful box of embroidery or embellishment thread. Are we ready to draw? And this week's lucky winner is Susan Pearson. So Susan, reach out to us via Facebook. Let us know at which location you would like to come by and pick up your thread kit. So until next week, happy stitching, happy crafting. We'll see you soon.